Bitcoin closed the weekly candle above $48,000, which is an incredibly strong weekly close. So on today's show, we're going to assess what you should expect next. Is this a profit-taking opportunity, or is this the very etchings of a major breakout for both Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole? And if we do get that breakout, I'm going to show you one altcoin sector today, which could make you millions if you play it right. And if a couple of the stars align, we're going to get into that in today's show. So let's get started over here with Bitcoin and the weekly close. Big move over here. You can see pushing into the range high, which is the pink box zone over here. This is officially the highest closing candles that we've had in a very long time for this entire cycle, ever since the lows over here. And it looks like that was the pullback right into the 21 weekly moving average. And then since then, price has been pushing up aggressively. Now, when you look at a strong weekly candle like this, you always want to look to the previous week and ask yourself, well, based on the information that we have there, what should the expectation be going forward? And a strong weekly candle like this would suggest that the most probable outcome is continuation towards the upside. And that's one of the reasons why we took all of those long trades, right? So we have all of our trades on the table over here. Only 2 of them are slightly in the red, but we have a plan for that as we dollar cost averaging into the market. Now, many of you watching this right now may be slightly fearful, because if you opened up your banter bubbles over here, on the day it looks red. Some of your positions may be down. On the hourly though, it's showing a different picture where you're starting to see things pick back up towards the upside. And weekly, mostly green, right? Monthly, if you look over there as well, most of the coins are green. So all in all, we are mostly moving towards the upside despite the little pullbacks. And that's the lesson, right? You don't want to necessarily short an uptrending market unless you have a plan to hedge against your longs. Otherwise, you want to stick in line with the trend, and the trend is towards the upside, which is why you can see also crypto liquidity remains on the rise. The trend is towards the upside, with liquidity increasing each and every week. We have the histograms over there trending towards the upside as well. So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 1,000 likes. If we can get to 1,000 likes, not only does James get paid for that, but on top of that, we'll also make sure to bring up those altcoin requests and show you the sector that I'm looking at, which you would need to make moves on as soon as possibly even today, if you want to participate in that trend, because there is signs of why it may be aggressive towards the upside. So let me know as well, which sector do you believe it is? Is it gaming? Is it artificial intelligence, DeFi, or memes? The question in the poll section below is, which sector would you rather go all in on for this crypto cycle? If you had to go all in and hold from now till the end of the year, you can't say other. It's one of these: gaming, artificial intelligence, DeFi, or meme coins. Smash the like button while you vote on those poll results over there. By clicking on the poll, you'll be able to see what your peers have voted. And if you go on over here, Bitcoin running rampant has sent the Bitcoin dominance towards the upside. Now, as one of the very few people out there that said the probability of a 60% Bitcoin dominance is incredibly high, because we're playing at level to level, range to range, right? So you broke out of the top side of this range, which now we've labeled as our mid-range, holding above 50%, and that opens up the possibility of moving all the way up to 60%. Not only that, but you broke out of a 2-year range where the Bitcoin dominance was essentially capped between 40% and up to that 50% mark, and you have a strong uptrend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Our prior invalidation was, if on the long side at least, was if Bitcoin dominance broke below this 48% mark, that would break you back down into this range, lose the 200-week moving average, and you would have a break of structure with your first lower low, and then you would wait for the lower high. We've now raised the bar. We're changing the invalidation zone. The new invalidation zone is going to be here, which ultimately means we need to get below the yellow line. There you go. the dotted yellow line that I have at 50.90%, so call it 51%. If Bitcoin dominance starts to break below that, well, you will be coming into support, but that's your first signs that you're breaking structure and potentially going lower. Despite Bitcoin dominance moving towards the upside, altcoins are still running rampant. So just understand Bitcoin dominance is measured against the rest of the crypto market. So yes, many of the altcoins are going down, but the coins that we've been calling on the show here live each and every day, those have been the strong performers, right? The ones that are outperforming Bitcoin, because we always look at how the coin does against BTC and ETH, and those are the ones that we've been longing. So all in all, you might think it's alt season because our coins are going up, but it's actually not, right? Bitcoin dominance is still running rampant over there. Based on the Bitcoin move that we've had recently and the strong weekly close, you can see the BBWP over here is trending back above the 10 percentile mark, which ultimately gives a confirmation of volatility expansion. Now, volatility expansion is direction neutral, meaning it can expand towards the upside with price going up, or it can expand towards the downside with price going down. This is why it's important to understand your pivot levels, understand where the trend is, and the trend is towards the upside. So volatility expanding up would mean most likely trend continuation for Bitcoin. ETH is still contracting ever so slightly. You can see the volatility is moving towards the downside over there. And we know ETH BTC is suffering at the moment. So we'll need to see that turn back up if ETH is to run. You had here your strong 5-day close as well. Now, this is essentially a breakout signal. The signal has been given. You've closed the previous 5-day candle higher than where your local top was set over there at $47,000 previously. And you've now opened a new candle above that level, and you would expect continuation, right? Price is above the short-term, medium-term, and long-term moving average. All three of those are angled towards the upside, and that's where your strong trending moves take place. So all in all, looking really good. We had Renko flip back green as well. This is now officially back in its bullish trend. If you look at Ethereum, Ethereum is slightly lagging with still a red Renko candle, but as if Ethereum can just pick up a little bit higher over here, I would anticipate it's going to do the same thing as Bitcoin, and it's going to start to flip green, which would mean trend continuation. Now, on Friday's show, we outlined this trend line over here on the RSI, and price pushing up into this region could provide a double top scenario where you could get a pullback. Not only that, but you also have the fear and greed on the bottom over here. Every time that we push slightly above the red line at 80, it doesn't hold very long in that region, and a local top is set in and price comes back down. So it is something to be cognizant of and aware of the potential for a local top over here. I'll show you one other reason why in just a moment, but that is something to watch for. Now, price is breaking into the 80 zone again, and let's see if bulls can continue to hold the RSI within this region. If they can, you call that the bullish control zone, which means onwards, upwards continuation over there. Okay, so all in all, that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin over there. We do have the presence of bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, which again could lead to lower prices. You can see over here, prices moving towards the upside. We have the momentum oscillator over here by chart prime, which is coming towards the downside whilst having reached into the overbought territory. So that creates the opportunity for bearish divergence. Be careful over there. That's all that I'm saying. Tighten your stops. Don't take too much risk on the table on the breakout plays. Oftentimes, breakouts lead to what we call deviations, where it breaks back into the range, testing the late buyers, right? So if you see something like that breaking back down towards the range, I don't believe this time will lead to a deviation. So if I just show you this range level over here and the 4-hour range that we had been focused on, so we looked at it like this. We had the deviation. We broke out of the range, came back inside. We had the deviation below, and we initially were targeting back towards the top side. We've now got that top side move. I don't believe you're going to see a deviation like this. I think, if anything, the bearish divergence will play out. It will be a back test into $45,000, which will ultimately lead to buying demand and increased support over there, and then probably trend continuation towards the upside. So that's the way that I would say the bearish divergence most likely plays out. Also, how crazy is this? I don't know if you guys saw this. I said, did Saylor turn Joe Biden into a Bitcoin hodler? What is happening over here? He's got the laser eyes. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but Joe Biden has the laser eyes. If you go over here, look at that. Just like we drew it up. It's on his official page 3 hours ago. I don't know what is happening yet. If you know, let me know in the comments. The fact that his are red is not a good sign. If you go to mine, let's see, you can go to mine over here. Where am I going? Profile. I've had my laser eyes since 2020. Gold. Gold are the good guys. Red are the bad guys. So interesting. I would love to know your guys' theories of why Joe Biden has put laser eyes. Please, guys, spam the comments over there. If you know the answer, let me know. I'm monitoring the chats over here. I really want to know. Okay, stock markets ripping to new all-time highs. The continued trend is in full motion over here. Massive moves. And then most importantly, we're looking at Coinbase, because if Coinbase does well, we know that typically the altcoin market does well. And you can see the strong demand coming into the bottom over here at 113, where it bounced off, and it's looking like a major high low over there, a range breakout retest, and we have trend continuation. So all in all, looking good. That's why we long, right? That's why we long. Overall, we long. We have the Casper position up 42%. Near, which I dropped in well room over the course of the weekend, we up 12%. We have WIF. You got to have a WIF hat in your portfolio, guys, up 91%. Injective is slightly down, 0.5% down. We have Astroport up 2.9%, and then this damn Jupiter, which I've been DCAing into, is still down. If this doesn't start moving as soon as this week, I'm going to cut that position out of the portfolio over here. So those are the Bybit trades that we have open. Now, one of the reasons that we're taking the Bybit trades is if you go through to the link in the description below over here. Let's just pause that. If you go through to the link in the description below, Bybit are offering a massive $2.2 million worth of prizes for those who are going to be trading the competition. So we're doing the warm-up for the trading competition over here. It is the Trade Masters Grand Prix Series 1 trading competition. There is Series 2 as well. Actually, it's a Series 2 one. We finished the Series 1, so it's the Series 2 one. You can win up to $2.2 million worth of prizes. Use the Bybit link below, sign up, claim your $30,000 of sign-up bonuses. Well, up to, it depends on how much you deposit, and join in with the trades. Okay, some other notable changes that we've made over here. Let's see, did I miss this one? There we go. We missed this one. This is our main chart that we've been using our Femex bots on, right? So we've been trading it according to the moon phases. As weird as that sounds, it's been hilariously profitable, whereby you have your bull moon, price goes up, bear moon, price comes down, bull moon up, bear moon down, bull moon up, bear moon down, bull moon up, bear moon. We just got the bear moon, right? But you have to use a lot of other analysis with this, right? You can't purely be focused on just the moon phases. Use the other points of confluence in line with this when you are making the analysis. And what are the other points of interest that we're looking at? Well, for one, we're looking at, as I just showed you over here, let's just quickly see if I can pull it up again. We are looking at this, which is the bearish divergence. So we have the presence of a bear moon. We have the presence of bearish divergence, which will show that there's a possibility of a pullback. So in order to hedge, we've decided to flip short over here purely, I want to be clear, purely on the Femex account. So here it is. You can see slightly down, and I want this to be liquidated. I hope that I get liquidated out of this position because I have much more on the table when it comes to the long side. But nevertheless, we took our profits over here on the futures grid. We were running 50x leverage longs, which were staggered throughout. We made 130% profit. We've now taken only half the capital. Why? Because mostly we're bullish. We don't want to really be shorting the market in this environment. So what we've done is we've taken 50% of the capital that we made with those profits, and we flipped short, scaling the orders up from, my entry, I think, was around, it's dropped in whale room. The entry was, I think, from 46,000 staggered up to about $50,000. So it's still going to be scaling in more. Okay. That's the Femex. If you do want to follow along, by the way, with that, there is a link in the description below. You'll claim up to $8,800 in sign-up bonuses for Femex. So it should be in the description below over here. There it is, $8,800. Join me with the bot trading. Cool. Let's continue on over there. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, let's just quickly review in line with everything else over here. If you are sticking in line with the trend, yes, we understand there's bearish divergence, but technically the trend is still very strong and towards the upside. You have BTC on the 4-hour with the momentum oscillators fully reset over here, right? So ready to turn back up. You have support by those EMAs, the 21, the 50, and the 200. Look at that. Ethereum just back tested into the 21 right now, and it's looking like there is demand coming off that. You also have your stochastic RSI, which is about to turn back up. So you likely are going to get another push towards the upside. Also touching on this over here, let's just clean this up because we missed some important things over here. Okay, we got the 50% of the wick filled, which was originally the plan, and then we printed the bear moon. Okay, so I am going to remove this over here. There we go. Let's clean that up over there. That's a 50% wick fill. But I want to show you we're still above the pivot level, right? So if you are very, very scared to short the market and you still want to do it as a hedge, if you want that confirmation of the short, well, you need to see price start to break below all of these levels, break the structure. The next lower high probably is the best short opportunity, which would look something like that. For now, you still have all that support. You're above the pivot level. You're above the 200 EMA on the 1 hour, above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. You're also above the 50% retracement level. So therefore, I'm mostly long. The bot strategy is simply that we're just playing it as a strategy. Cool. Let's look over here. What's going on Trading Light? Okay, I want to see how many orders are currently set over here. Are you new to trade? No, go away. I'm not new. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. All right, there we go. So 534 sell orders set at, or that's 534 Bitcoins worth of sell orders, which are currently set at $50,000. Let's see, maybe that liquidity will be grabbed. I wouldn't fade price over here. I think that if we confirm this is a real breakout and we have continuation this week, $52,000 Bitcoin is on the table. It's on the cards. $52,000 Bitcoin is a possibility. You have your low liquidity building up over here with a bunch of stop orders at 34,000. Keep an eye out on that. The market is net long, very, very long over here. You can see, look at the massive cumulative volume delta. We're currently sitting with pretty much 812 longs versus 140 shorts. So about a 7-to-1 ratio on the long side, right? ETH BTC getting absolutely pummeled over here, and this is not what you want to see if you were long on ETH, which is why we outlined the move from ETH into Casper on Friday's show. If you missed Friday's show, it's worth your while. Go and watch it. I outlined the higher time frame thought process of exactly what we're doing over here. But this was your fair value gap, right? Which ultimately was situated in this region over here for Ethereum. This was your fair value gap. This is where you wanted to see demand kick in and for ETH BTC to continue towards the upside. That failed to happen. As you can see, rejected off a very, very, very significant level, that being the 0.0557 level, and down it went, right? Losing that level, breaking structure or a change of character, at least I should say, once again below that level. And now you're heading back down towards those lows. So the question is, with so many knocks into the lows, is that level going to hold? Now, I'm still going to say that this is a longer term reaccumulation. And I actually do think that even if you see some sweeps below over here, it is probably going to hold. And this is going to be a massive reaccumulation phase. I would love to see ETH BTC continue down and Bitcoin dominance head towards 60%. As Bitcoin dominance hits that 60% mark, I would like to move into coins that are outperforming Ethereum, because I think Ethereum will likely outperform BTC from here. So if you're trading the coins that are outperforming Ethereum, well, then you're going to get supercharged moves towards the upside, and that's going to be looking good. Okay, we have a lot of altcoins that we need to go into as well. I feel like I missed some significant parts over here. Where did that section go? Let me just look for that chart. Okay, here we have it. Here we have it. We missed some significant parts, guys. We jumped around. Very, very, very important. It's really important to pick the altcoins in the right way for this cycle. Because if you look at this, the altcoin odds are now stacked against you from Crypto Distilled, right? In the 2021 bull run, where we started to initiate into that peak euphoria and the blow off top. So from January, there was only 4,000 coins listed on CoinGecko. Now, fast forward to pretty much the same phase of the cycle. We are of the opinion that we're going to be rallying up from now into November of this year. And by November of this year, Bitcoin will be at all-time highs. Right now, we are 12,500 different coins which are on CoinGecko. If you go across the entire crypto sphere, we're probably in the region of 30 to 40,000 different coins. That is astronomical. That means you have to work much harder at picking the right coins and doing proper analysis. It's not a spray and pray scenario like it used to be, because the number of coins has increased by 3 times, but the total crypto market cap is only up 75% and not 300% to match this level, right? So you need to be much, much more rudimentary and careful in what you're doing. So again, I'll bring you back to the question in the poll results over there. Which sector would you rather go all in on this cycle? Is it going to be gaming, artificial intelligence, DeFi, or memes? I know the thumbnail today says that this sector will mint millionaires. It will create millionaires if played correctly, right? If you get the narrative right, and the market is very, very driven by narrative, because there's so much within the space. You need to go with where the attention is going to be the highest, because that's going to draw the most liquidity, and that is going to be where you see the biggest moves. I see a lot of you in the comments are getting it spot on over there, so well done on being in tune with what's going on in the market. Let's have a look at what Elio says over here, and he's basically said, mostly I don't see what's coming. The big moves have not actually even begun, and I do agree. Real fun starts once Bitcoin is above $69,000. I think that it starts a little bit before that. I don't really want to wait for that long. I think that your time is running out for establishing those longer term altcoin positions, and that's where the real fun's going to begin, right? Coins will rocket to tens of billions of dollars. Gaming, AI, layer 1s and 2s. He says, meanwhile, 90% of the timeline loses its mind over minor swings. Keep it together. You're early, but you have to build conviction to win big. Or you can use risk management and you can still win big, right? Because you don't have a heart attack every time price moves slightly against you. You know you calculated your risk, and you know it's all part of the plan, right? So what are some of the potential winners? You cannot fade the dog-worth hat. You just cannot. Let's have a look. We're up 91% over there. We're currently building a position. I would like to get that position even bigger. Now, I know it's all fun and games over here, but you can't fade meme culture. The meme culture, when strong, can really pump price. And when it comes to the meme coin sector, I think that it's worth betting on some of the newer things, right? Like dog-worth hat, like bonk. Some of the newer coins are going to grab a lot of the attention and liquidity. They don't have that many underwater players within the market. I saw someone said there, Walsh. Yes, Walsh is moving. Walsh is moving. That is one that we've put in our portfolio. It was dropped in whale room already over the course of December. Now, another big narrative over here is OpenAI CEO Sam Altman seeking $5 to $7 trillion to build a network of fabs for AI chips. That is big, guys. That is absolutely enormous. If he gets even part of these trillions worth of dollars into, obviously this is for traditional markets, but naturally, remember, it's narrative driven. Then you're going to start to see crypto AI run as well, because this is the way that it works, right? It tracks in an almost similar fashion. We saw that with NVIDIA running aggressively towards the upside, and it's essentially initiating this massive stock market rally that we've had. Soon after that, the crypto stocks, or the crypto, not stocks, the crypto coins in the AI sector also started to rally. So it's something worth looking at. 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗕 gave a couple of coins that they bullish on over here. They just so happen to be within my level of interest as well. So I think these are some that you have to look at and put onto your portfolio, which is going to be 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕, so decentralized non-custodial liquidity market. Check them out over there. You have Onyx Protocol. You have Zephyr Protocol, also one of the coins dropped in Whale Room. We have Banana Gun, also one of the coins dropped in Whale Room, currently pushing towards all-time highs. And then we have Gamer Coin. So these are some of the coins that you need to be looking at. We can try and chart those in just a moment. And I thought I have a couple of the more mainstream ones set up over here just to look at on a high time frame basis, kind of where are these AI coins, and could there be a rally that would spark? Does the TA agree with this? Well, if you look at the charts over here, you can see that you pretty much have a very clear level of support resistance flip on Ocean Protocol. So that's your first sign. Okay, where on earth is this now? I need to change this. This is not the right colors. Let's quickly switch. So that's level one, right? Level one, stochastic RSI only just starting to trend towards the upside, getting ready to move over here, and it looks like trend continuation, right? On a macro basis, you had your ultimate lows, you had your higher low, you had your back test into the breakout level, coming into an important support resistance flip, creating your third higher low, and it does look like trend continuation over there. AGIX, look at that as well. Stochastic RSI literally about to reset over here, and almost the exact same picture, right? You have an important SR flip coming in right in that exact level. Fetch AI, another AI narrative coin. Of course, this one's already moved pretty aggressively. This one front ran its perfect backtest of the SR flip region. I would be viewing that, and front ran it ever so slightly. Stochastic RSI picking up towards the upside. The graph, all right. Okay, we got this one here as well. Also, similar picture, not as good as Ocean and AGIX, but nevertheless picking up towards the upside. So let's go through a couple of the other coins that could potentially run, some of the ones that were listed by 𝗕𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗕. Remember, guys, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. James only gets paid once we hit 1,000 likes. He's shouting at me in the background over there. So smash the like button, help him out, and then let's continue on over here. So I want to look at some of these coins. These ones are mostly going to be listed on DEX tools. So we'll bring up 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, that's not going to be the right one. Let's try QI. Here we go. All right, so let's see if there is a potential entry on one of these coins. We should be able to spot it over here. This one had a pretty big move already. You can see this is going to be an important SR level as well. Coming into this zone over here, you really want to see price holding within this region. So let's map out a few levels. Okay, this would be the zone. This is the area of interest. I would want to see a little bit more from 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕 over here. I would want to see it come a little bit deeper into the purple box. So giving you those levels, that's going to be 0.011 up to 0.014. Watch as price moves into that level over there. You did have a big push up over here showing that potentially things are starting to reverse, but wait for a little bit more of a pullback. So as price comes down, look for something like this. As price comes down into this region, does it start to hold as support once again? If so, create your long opportunities over there. Build a position slowly but surely. So that is 𝗕𝗘𝗬𝗕. Next, what is the other ones that we had over here? Back onto this one. Okay, we have XCN. XCN, let's pull up XCN. Okay, XCN. Okay, XCN, let's bring it up. Is there a potential entry on this coin? That is the question. I don't like this one as much. I don't like it as much. It's got a lot of history, massive sell-off towards the downside, Huge selling pressure. Look at that on a daily. I probably wouldn't touch this one. Skip it. Move on to the next one. There are better ones out there. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬 is definitely one that I'm bullish on. I have it in my portfolio. So let's bring up 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬. Okay, is this the right 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬? That is the question. Guys, what you can do as well, you can go over here. This is how you can always make sure you have the right coin. 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬. There we go. Go through onto CoinGecko. Move it across. Take it through to this section over here. Okay, they don't have a contract address. No wonder I can't find it. Usually you would find the contract address over here. You should be able to copy and paste that. So let's just quickly look at CoinGecko over here. So big move over here. DCAing into this region around the $10 mark. Watch for the next pullback if it forms a higher low. Probably needs to consolidate a little bit, but it has come down quite significantly, pretty much around, what, 80% or something, from top to the $10 mark, around an 80% drop. So ultimately, something to DCA into for the longer term. Banana, let's bring up Banana Gun. Okay, and then also, guys, drop your altcoin requests. If there is something else that you want, drop your altcoin requests. It's a pity I don't have these charts here anymore. There you go. You can see, like, I lost all of the charts. I had previously drawn the levels, but there we go. Okay, let's just clean this up a little bit. Okay, all in all, I mean, trending towards the upside looks good. Higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if this is a proper range breakout. Then you really want to see this level get flipped into support. That's this zone over here. You want to see that level hold. That is for Banana Bot, right? I think it's called Banana Gun is the full word. So we're looking at that over there. Then let's look at Gamercoin, GHX. GHX, can we find the exact contract? GHX, Gamercoin. Okay, here it is. So you come over here, copy this. There you go. Copy the contract address. Go through to the DEX tools. Copy it in over there. We've got it. There it is. Gamercoin. How is Gamercoin doing? Is there potential for a trade here this week? Okay, look at this. This one is looking absolutely stellar. Look at the previous history. Very, very strong, moving towards the upside. Okay, it does have some sellers within this region over here. The reaccumulation phase has already happened. You are coming into resistance over here. I probably don't think I would ape into something over here. I would wait for it to get above and hold above this level before gaming an entry, but something to put on your watch list. Okay, let's go into some of the altcoin requests over there. While we wait for the altcoin request to come through, James is just tallying everything up. I do want to also remind you, we're looking for a trade on Wu. I'm trying to get in the pink zone over here, the pink box zone. This is the Wu token. It's also one of the longer term coins that we want to hold. There you have it. Your range breakout. Price broke out, came back above, wicked into that region, currently getting capped between two important levels. I want to see price move a little bit deeper into the zone over here. I'm going to be staggering some orders into the pink zone around that 29 cents region. So if you do want to take the trades on Wu obviously list the Wu token. There is a link in the description below. Check them out. A quick reminder with Wu, they also have one of the most comprehensive balance sheets over there. If you want to back their data or see at least that everything is secured, they have live dashboards which show their exact reserves. So your capital is safe on Wu. Okay. Now, altcoin requests. What do we have? Altcoin requests. Do you want to pull some up, James?
I'll just need 1 minute so we can go for it.
Okay, total 3 breaking out over here. It is holding above this level. At any moment, you could start to see the breakout. If Bitcoin starts to push above $50,000, risk is going to return in a big way. We've already consolidated in the zone over here. The range has been formed already over 2 months. Maybe you could push 1 more month over here, and then you expect that there is probably going to be a breakout for total 3. So all in all, that is looking bullish. Okay, let's get some of this. I'm also watching 𝗬𝗬𝗕𝗬 over here. 𝗬𝗬𝗕𝗬 you can see pushing into the range highs. Not much price history over here, but a consolidation above this region is going to lead 𝗬𝗬𝗕𝗬 into price discovery with Chainlink running pretty significantly. See, only slightly up over here, but I had a big push up yesterday. Look at that massive move. it's showing a real breakout, right? From the prior consolidation, it's looking like ready to break out. A lot of people will start to look to the other oracles, the newer oracles for opportunity, since they've missed out on a lot of the gains on things like Chainlink. They might be moving into those. Okay, cool. What do we have, James? You got anything? Okay, let's quickly go on to some of these. So Casper, let's have a look at how Casper is doing. Casper has pushed into the range high. A little bit of profit taking coming in within this region. Remember, we went long on this candle over here at about, I think it was about 12 cents. Looking at the big push up over here, there might be a pullback. Now, if it does pull back, this is going to be your re-entry zone. So it's up to you. You decide if you want to take profits, but I would be viewing the 12-cent region as a re-entry point, right? So if you do decide to take profits over here, a pullback into this region over here likely leads into a mid-range support, next higher low, and then you probably have the real breakout. The alternative is if Bitcoin pushes up strong today and this week, then I expect that Casper will push out like the little LARP lines that I've drawn over here, and then you're going to consolidate above that 14-cent mark, and then you're going to likely have continuation higher. Okay, let's go on to Injective. Okay, very quickly, Injective over there. Okay, so that's the level, right? Any opportunity that you get coming into the yellow line over here, which is sitting at 30.5 cents, that's going to be a chance to get long on Injective. And a lot of people have been labeling Injective as the Solana of this cycle, meaning that they think that Injective could repeat what Solana did in the last cycle. I think it's one to look at. Of course, we were long all the way down here when Injective was holding on the 200 daily EMA, and especially once it started to push into this region, we said the probability for breakout is incredibly high, right? Consolidations into resistance lead to big breakouts. Okay, we have TIA. Let's go to TIA. Okay, TIA, let's hit it, TIA. Okay, very, very strong. TIA continuing to push towards the upside. I've got this rising parallel channel that I'm just kind of tracking price over here. Ultimately, when this channel does break down, you're probably going to have a very, very serious pullback. I would expect something pretty significant, 40, 50, 60% pullback. So watch that carefully. All you need to do is simply just track above the previous high lows. So right now I would have my stops at about 1649. Be careful of those scam wicks as well. If you start to see closing prices that happen below 1649, this will likely start to break down, and then you'd want to get out, right? It's going to be, this has been a super aggressive move for TIA. I am currently holding TIA as well in my portfolio. All right, guys, I think that brings us to the end. We've run out of time. Join me in Whale Room as well later today, 6 o'clock. We're going to have a live session over there. We'll go in depth into all of these trades. For the rest of you, I'll see you all on tomorrow's show. Have a stellar day and cheers for now.